How does folk etymology change word meanings? Imagine hearing a word you've never seen before and trying to make sense of it with what you already know. That's how folk etymology often begins. It is a process where people change unfamiliar words to sound more familiar. When they do this, the meanings of words can shift or become clearer in their minds. This process is part of how language evolves over time. Folk etymology happens because people mishear or misunderstand words, then modify them to fit their own understanding. For example, the word asparagus was once a tricky word for many. People thought it sounded like sparrowgrass because they linked it to familiar words. This change made the word easier to remember and say. Another example is muskrat. The original word from the indigenous language was musquash. English speakers changed it to muskrat because it sounded more like a common animal, the rat. This change made it easier for people to relate to the animal and remember its name. Folk etymology can also create false stories about where words come from. Take cockroach. It is borrowed from Spanish, but some believe it comes from cock and roach, which are English words. This mistaken idea shows how folk etymology can lead to incorrect explanations. When people change words this way, their meanings can also shift. Sometimes the new version of the word takes on a different sense or connotation. For example, shamefaced used to mean restrained by shame, but over time, it came to mean embarrassed or blushing. The change in the words from helped people understand it as a sign of feeling shame or embarrassment. Understanding folk etymology helps us see how language is not fixed but always changing. It shows how words adapt to our minds and social habits. When we hear or read new words, our brains try to connect them to what we already know. If the connection makes sense, we keep it. If not, we might change it to fit our understanding. This process is a natural part of how language grows and develops. In everyday life, folk etymology influences how we speak and interpret words. It's a reason why some words look or sound different from their original roots. It also explains why some words have funny or surprising stories behind them. So next time you hear a word that sounds a little strange, remember that folk etymology might be behind its new form or meaning. It's a simple but powerful way that language evolves through the way we think and communicate.